Hey, what's going on, subscribers? Today I have a very important money lesson that I want to bring to you all today. The most important thing about this is I want you all to have a better understanding of what the main difference between an asset and a liability. These are very important factors that you need to understand in order for you to become wealthy. And I'm also going to define them and make sure you have exact examples of what each of these concepts mean and how you can implement some strategies in order to accumulate a lot of money throughout your lifetime. This is a very important financial lesson that you need to understand right now. Right now is the best time for you to start implementing this in order for you to have a better financial future ahead of you. I cannot tell you how much of an importance this lesson is, and you are very lucky that you came across this video. I really recommend you watch this till the end. There's a lot of good financial information you need to know and understand. So first I'm going to talk about what an asset is and different examples of what an asset can be. I'm going to be drawing all of this, so just so you'll know. Okay, so assets can be anything from a house to stocks, bonds, mutual funds, basically investments that you can make that will end up bringing up the value of whatever you bought. So all of these things go up in value. At some years in the future, you can sell any of these and they'll be worth more than what you paid for. So it's anything that goes up in value. And this is what rich people buy. They buy assets, while poor people buy liabilities. You have to start buying assets. Many people don't take the time to learn about different kinds of assets and how to invest in them. But you need to start buying assets. Don't buy liabilities. That's what's going to make you poor. Liabilities are basically the opposite of an asset. And that liabilities are what most people spend their money on. And this is what's wrong with everyone, that people tend to spend more money on liabilities rather than assets. Liabilities are anything from cars. Cars need maintenance work, they need gas, then you need to pay insurance. Clothes do not go up in value, they go down in value as you wear them. You can't even sell them at the end because no one really pays much money for them since they're cheap and they go down in value. So liabilities are things that go down in value, and this is what most people buy. So you want to avoid this as much as possible. Spend your time learning about assets and accumulating assets instead of liabilities. Minimize your liabilities. Obviously, we all need to spend money on certain liabilities, but try to keep this at a low. Don't buy an expensive car. Just buy one that takes you to point A to point B. You don't need an expensive car at all. You should use the extra money that you saved buying the cheaper car that's reliable and spend that on an asset that's going to bring you even more money. And eventually, someday on the road, you'll have so many assets that you can spend pretty much whatever on whatever you want, and it won't really matter that much at the end. So basically, liabilities, you should minimize them as much as possible and spend your time increasing assets. Minimize your liabilities and increase your assets. Follow this pattern. It's very important. I learned all these lessons from a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I've been implementing them for about 4 to 5 years, and I cannot tell you how much of an improvement that has made in my life. I have a way better financial mindset than most people. Assets generate cash flow, they generate money. And obviously, the more assets you have, the more money you'll be able to generate. While liabilities take away money, and the more liabilities you have, the less cash flow you're gonna have, the less money. And I would highly recommend learning about different kinds of assets, how to invest in them, how they work. The earlier you start, the better you'll end up. I recommend my channel if you want to learn how to invest into stocks. Stocks are a great asset to have. You don't have to spend a lot of money in them. Just buy one share and start learning how the market works, how to make money, how to make profit. And as I mentioned, the more assets you have, the more money you're going to have. There's this quote from Jim Rohn that a wage makes you a living, but profits make you a fortune. Focus your time increasing your profits, making profits. Anything that's a profit will always be better than a wage. Spend your time creating your fortune by creating profits. Don't spend your time earning a wage. A wage makes you a living. Make a fortune by making profits. This is sort of a cyclical pattern, that a graphical presentation of my lesson, and that is that assets generate cash flow, and then with that cash flow you should buy more assets, and do this over and over and over again. You'll notice an insane amount of money that you'll end up having if you simply follow this strategy. Focus your time building your assets. Start now. And also, as I mentioned before, the best time to start implementing this is right now. Actually, the best time was yesterday, but that day already happened, and you came across this video right now. So I would start to implement this right now. If you have any questions you want to ask me, feel free to comment down below. If you have any experience implementing these strategies, also comment your experience, what has helped you in your financial world. Thank you all so much for watching.